Hello, everyone. I hope that you guys had a wonderful week thus far, and I hope that you're prepared for what we have in store for today. Right? As we go forward, due to the fact that most of you are, have been digging deep, some things that I may, you know, bring to light to you, right? It will seem as if you already know these things, which, you already do know these things due to the fact that, you have been seeing it happen over and over again. You just haven't, actually recognized it, right? But subconsciously, you know what I'm going to be talking about. Here on the screen, you can see that this week was a week that lacked volatility, but we did talk about Thursday in the first live stream this week, which was Monday, I believe. It was Monday, right? And today we see that Thursday played a major role in some HOD, HOW, and LOW. So the high of the week, low of the week for certain asset classes, right? And if not, it just distributed price, which is what Thursday usually does, right? But it's more likely to do so, right? Whenever the day, which is Thursday, is the only day that has news of any sort, right? So this week you can see was pretty dead, in my opinion, right? Next week might be worse, right? Because we do not have any news at all next week, right? And that's something that's rare. You barely see that. When's the last time you ever saw a week that had no news? Tell me. I'm waiting. When? So yes, these times that you're seeing right now, and let me put more emphasis on that, right? These times that we're within right now, it's rare due to the fact that these specific times, right, just occur every 4 years or so, right? So yes, here, you guys can see that price has been going in the direction that we have been anticipating for the FX triad, right? So we anticipated price, since it was consolidating here, we expected higher prices. This was our first strong liquidity, right? This gap right here for the US dollar index. Remember, right? Even though we were bullish on the US dollar, which means that we are bearish on foreign currencies, I did say that, right? We would see the euro being more weak or, falling harder than the British pound, right? And you already know why, because the British pound is, for the FX triad, the same that the Dow is for the futures market triad, right? It rarely does anything, that you want it to do. Let's just say that. So yes, here we can see that price expanded upwards as we expected, right? What was the main reason for this? Tell me, what was the main reason for this? The main reason is the sequential SMT that we have between 2023 and 2024, right? You must understand, right? Whenever you have SMT that falls under this category, right? This type of SMT, right, is, the type of SMT that starts bull markets. It's the type of SMT that ends bull markets. It's the type of SMT that will put price in a direction for, over 6 months, sometimes years, right? This is the type of SMT that we're dealing with. So yes, and still, right, we still expect price to just be going in the direction that it is going at the moment. Right here, you can see that the British pound, it is, not doing anything, in comparison to the euro. The euro dropped hundreds of pips, right? The British pound, let's talk about, it's not as dramatic as the euro. So here, right, we will be discussing the reason, right, the main reason why the British pound, and you can bring this logic over to any other asset class that you wish, right? But this is why the British pound has failed to, give the extension that, or, extension like the euro. Here you can see that, right, price dropped below this low right here, consolidated. We had sequential SMT here, sequential SMT here, again, double sequential SMT. Yes, I'm using the 8-hour time frame right now. Then we have a precision swing point right here, right? Price continued higher. Right, and if you guys are trying to figure out what, I'm relying upon for the precision swing point, of course, if you look at the British pound right here, right, you see that is a down close candle. I do not want anyone to be confused, to be honest, just because I don't want anyone to be confused. Let me just close here, right? So there you have it. Precision swing point, price expands. Precision swing points, price drops, precision swing point, price drops. Okay, so here, right, you can see that whereas we had an expansion leg here for the British pound, while price was trading above this high, right, this was not doing so yet, right? The euro was not doing what the British pound is doing right here, which is trading above this high, right? Here where we have the consolidation, right, then the precision swing point, then you had the British pound trade here and break below this low right here, right? So once it shifted to the downside, you can see that it did so above this high right here. And we're not just referring to, the specific high right here for the British pound, but we're referring to, every high, in regards to the euro and low in regards to the US dollar index, right? And we're specifically talking about time, right? The time that the high was formed. So here we have this high from the same time as this high, right? Price just, was playing above this high right here. But here, what was happening? We were already above this high, right? Trading above this high, consolidating above this high. We did not consolidate above this high. We did not consolidate below this low. We did consolidate around it, but not below this low. When we're referring to consolidation, it would be something like this, right? Price is above this high, but here it was around this low. And here, the consolidation occurred below this low right here. Whenever you see this happened, right? So here we have this occurring right here, consolidation here. But here, the consolidation was above the high. Whenever you see this happen, right? Whereas, you have whether it is the British pound, for the FX triad, or, the Dow for the futures triad, you see consolidation occur like this, whereas it's just one asset that is consolidating above, a particular high that formed at a particular time, then this asset will lag always, right? It will always lag behind. Whereas this asset right here, which consolidated below the low, will give you the best move, right? And as you guys realize, I did not mark the sequential SMTs, but I did mark the precision swing point, right? I basically just let you guys know what's more important right there. Now here, right, we're looking at Bitcoin and versus Ethereum again. So here we had, what did we have here? We had sequential SMT right here as price traded below this low. Then we had a precision swing point, price expanded, right? And here, what did we have here? We had a revolving true open around this area, right? The breaker is here, and it overlaps with this gap. Always remember why gaps stay open. Why did this gap stay open? Due to the fact that we had a precision swing point here, right? Price traded above this gap, then price trade back, rebalance this imbalance. You're not going to have price return back to this gap, especially when price has traded over the 50% of the range, which the range would be from this high to this low, and the 50% would be around here, right? Once price trades above the 50%, then it's not likely for you to be, finding an entry. The best case scenario is you buy and, you just do not expect price to, return back within the range. But, that's risky, and I don't think anyone should do that. For here, you can see that we had something, the opposite of what happened here. We had sequential SMT, precision swing point, right? But here we had a higher low. Here we had a precision swing point right here. Then here we had a breakaway gap right here. What caused this breakaway gap? This SMT fill is what caused this breakaway gap. Then we had another one right here. And then we had price fail to trade above this high. So, as I've said before, SMT begins every move and SMT ends every move. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at sequential SMT or if it's just SMT. As long as there is SMT or a precision swing point, there will usually be both of them in the same place, or, right, just one of them. Even here, right, we still have this is a precision swing point right here, right? So here, price trade above this high, take profit. What's the main reason, right? Because this asset did not trade above this one as yet, but this did. There's a precision swing point here. Expect price to consolidate after then, right? So there's one of two things that can happen when price trades above the 50% of a range. As long as it's coming from sequential SMT and or a precision swing point, price will either slow and consolidate, or price will expand aggressively and just cut to the high or the low. If you're looking at a asset class that mirrors this aggressively, price will cut through that low or that high. I'm pretty sure that you guys remember what I said about the interest rate chart, right? Remember what I said, right? Here, what do we have? We have price falling here, price falling here again, we have price falling, right? I said that whenever you see, and this is very important, right? It's so important and it's so useful that, people would not believe that it makes sense. People would not believe that it is in fact useful. People would not believe that it works, right? Here, we saw price falling. And what did we say? We said that whenever you see the futures triad, which is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, you already know that, and the Dow, right? Moving in the opposite direction of the interest rate triad, what should you expect? You should expect at least the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to play catch up, right? Meaning that that is a way for you to anticipate SMT, right? That's a way for you to just anticipate a precision swing point. So once you see these markets right here in front of us being bearish, then you should expect bearish price action in regards to the futures triad, which is, what happened today, which is Thursday, of course. So here we had price trade above this high. Was this right here sequential SMT? No. What made this SMT useful, this precision swing point? So yes, as long as you see SMT and it's followed by a precision swing point, then it is useful, right? So here you can see that in the S&P 500, price traded above Monday's high, also above the true week open. Don't forget that, right? And usually, right, when you see price trend away from the true week open, right, then you have sequential SMT here, which we did have right here, right? At these lows right here, there was sequential SMT, right? We had sequential SMT here. Then we had price expand to the upside. Once this sequential SMT takes out a high, right, and there is SMT and a precision swing point or just sequential SMT alone, then you can expect this to happen, right? You can expect a reversal. Here, right, is a precision swing point that was lodged into this down closed candle, right? So as long as you see a precision swing point right here, right, as long as you see a precision swing point, there's SMT. Do not be afraid of, participate in the market right here, even though these conditions are not as, high probability as one would wish. You can still find something to do. So yes, I hope that, you've been paying attention, that you found it useful. And right now I'll be answering some questions for the next 10 minutes. Also, I saw one of you guys post, that you passed your top step trial thing, and some of you guys have been posted in the achievements tab. It's amazing to see, you guys actually, doing this thing, right? And, I just love it. So yes, Daniel said that you said that we should never take sequential SMT that opposes a higher time sequential SMT. Okay, I never said that you should never do it, right? All I said that it would be low probability. You can do it, and you should not be afraid of being wrong. That's the most important thing, even though we haven't been wrong in, a while, but, that's just me, right? You shouldn't be afraid of being wrong. It's okay. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to be perfect, because you will never be perfect, right? The main thing that you should aim for is, attaining, 3 R's. That's the main thing, attaining 3 R's. Risk gain 1 to 2%, attaining 3 R's. Risk 1 to 2%, attain 3 R's. If you lose, that's okay. You're going to lose sometimes. That's fine. You're not going to always be correct, right? What does this mean? Okay, 369 is crucial. Okay, so that's for another time, right? Not right now. Okay, so everyone, within the next, is it 20 days? Is it the next 20 days we have the US elections? Yeah, I believe it's like the next 20 days, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that I'm close. So we'll be having a lot of volatility, right? A lot of volatility. It's going to be insane, right? As it always is, right? These times, emphasis on the time, because that's what we're dealing with here. These times make and break people, right? And during these times, whichever direction the economy is going in, it usually just shifts in the opposite direction, right? So if we were in the bull market, then you have the U.S. elections, then you usually get a bear market. If you're in a bear market and then you have a U.S. election, then you usually just get what? A bull market, right? What was your motivation when studying price to discover precision swing point quarter theory? I just wanted to feed my family. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no car. There's no house that motivated me. There's not a watch, not jewelry, none of that shit. It's just to feed my family. That's just what it is. To feed my family and to find something that could, help other people to actually read price, actually know what price is going to do. Right? That's my main thing here. I just, want to transfer my eyes to you, even though, maybe only half of you guys are making money. The next half, right? First of all, not everyone is supposed to be a trader. Not everyone is meant to be a trader. But this skill right here, you can make money in different ways, right? And as long as you keep putting in the work, and you're good at either one of those, trading or analysis, you've already made it. You just have to, keep grinding until the opportunity knocks at your doorstep. That's it. If one of the assets is out of sync, while the other two assets are still in sync, and the two of them have sequentiality between them, can we still use the asset that is out of sync to refer to a precision swing point? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Right? So remember, a precision swing point is something totally different from sequential SMT. Right? There are times when there will be sequential SMT between the dollar index and the euro, which is why those assets are the first two, most important assets of the chart, right? The first two are the most important, right? The dollar index and the euro is more important than the Great British Pound. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq is way more important than the Dow, right? There are times when the Dow will be doing nothing, important or nothing that can help you but making precision swing points and PCs, right? Can you give an example of a high probability SMT market structure on the 90-minute cycle? So it doesn't matter which cycle you're looking at, it's always going to be the same, right? It's fractal. That's what it is, it's fractal. Right? But, very soon, right, when the volatility hits, right, and have you guys realized this? Tell me, literally. For the past few months, fair value gaps, right, have been little to no help in anything at all. Literally, when was the last time you see a clear 4-hour fair value gap price and price just drops into it and just expands? Right? Price is not clear. But sequential SMT makes it seem clear, doesn't it? Listen, there's some of you right now that are making money. There's some of you right now that are trading. There's some of you right now that are just reading price. What do you think is going to happen when the U.S. elections pass? in that 4-year period of time until the other one comes. Gonna be insane, right? Some of you are just gonna like, forget about me, start your own thing, and that's okay. That's the purpose of it, right? That's literally what's gonna happen. I know that's gonna happen. So I already see it happening, right? But I don't care. Do what you want to do. If you want to make a name for yourself, you want to make money, you want to do it in public, you want to do it in private, you want to do analysis, you want to do whatever you want to do, just do it. Right? So yes, everyone seems to want me to expand more in entries, so we'll do that. I believe I actually did, but maybe I didn't go, in depth enough. But it's maybe the people that are asking this are just the ones that haven't, and this is not to bash anyone or anything, but you just haven't back tested enough, right? You haven't back tested enough, right? You guys are probably the ones that just take this as a hobby, as serious as you should be, right? Is the SMT on the highest doubling theory? Sequential SMT week is sequential SMT between Monday and Tuesday. Today's price purchase which H2%. Yes. Yes, sir. So remember, guys, a precision swing point can be, put into place by, for example, the S&P 500. That specific candle that forms at a specific time could be a swing high, but in the other asset, it could just be a, precision candle, right? You have precision candles and precision swing points. Remember this, right? It doesn't have to be a precision swing point. It's just that if the S&P 500 at the specific time is a up close candle, then within the other asset class, it should be a down close candle, right? So yes, guys, I hope that you found this useful, right? I hope that, well, I'm pretty sure that, most or all of you guys, are ready for what's, going to come, which is just, the volatility that we've been waiting for, right? It's going to be great. I remember when I believe most of you guys, if not, probably started, this thing right after the previous election. Do you remember the first 2 years? How much volatility there was. And then after, what happened? Price just, as you draw closer to the US elections, it does the same thing all the time. It just slows down. But it has to move again. Well, move more. It is moving right now, but yeah, could be better. So yes, I hope you found this useful. All right, this will be posted to Rob as soon as possible, and we will talk again, right?